So, this is the final part of the three-part series of the six essential questions. I'm going to have to go a bit quick in this part because this actually includes three parts because the closing is a part. So, we're going to jump right into it. So, we're going to be talking about the why question. Why did God put me here? To answer that, we're going to go to the story of Esther. Now, the story of Esther is about a Jewish woman who God put in such a place that she could save her people. It starts with King Ahasuerus and Queen Vashti. You see, the king called for his queen to be brought before him, and the queen refused. The king was enraged and called for a new queen. He had his people search for young women, and one of them was Esther. With the help of her caretaker Mordecai, Esther was chosen as the new queen. At the same time, the king's right-hand man Haman was devising a plot to kill all the Jews, because Mordecai would not bow before him. The king did not know that Esther was a Jew, and Haman convinced the king that Jews don't follow the king's law. This, of course, got the king to agree to killing them all. Esther was probably wondering why God put her in the position of a queen, and why would she be picked for such a time as this. And the reason was because when Mordecai learns of the killing of the Jews plot, he relays it to Esther. Esther then realized why she was put there. She was the only person who could save her people. She sets up a feast with the king and Haman, and at this feast, Esther reveals that she is a Jew, and Haman was going to kill all the Jews. Haman was then hung for his actions. And that can also be compared with us. We may not know why we are where we are, but God has a plan. Why God does what he does is a mystery most of the time, but as I mentioned in the what section, we need to trust his plan. Our next question and final question is how? How is God going to get me through this situation? To answer this question, we're going to go into Moses when he's called to speak to Pharaoh. In Exodus chapter 4, we find Moses being told by God to tell Pharaoh to let his people go. Moses then told God that his speech was impaired, and it always has been. You see, Moses was wondering how God was going to lead him through this situation. God answered him in verse 11, saying, And the Lord said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth? Who maketh the dumb, or deaf, or seeing, or the blind? Have I not the Lord? You see, even after the Lord says he will be with Moses through the entire process, Moses is still anxious. Then God provides a new way for his plan to work. He calls Moses to take Aaron the Levite, Moses' brother, to speak with him. In these times, it is common for us to get caught up in these situations that seem impossible to get out of, or we end up feeling outnumbered against our problems. We are pleading and pursuing help from God, and we sit here asking, how is God supposed to help me get out of this? Or how did I even get here? An answer can be found in Ephesians 3:20, which states, Now to him who is able to do far more abundantly beyond all that we ask or think, according to the power that works within us. You see, God is able to do anything. There is nothing he cannot do. There is no how that cannot be answered. And now, finally, into closing. Though the world seems to be burning to the ground right now, and we have no idea what is going on, we need to remember that God is in control. No matter the who, what, where, when, why, or how is, God has the answer for it. This is because he is the who, he is the what, he is the where, he is the when, he is the why, and he is the how. Thank you all for listening to this Bible study, and make sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any more content in the future. Thank you all. That additional thoughts slide, just put any questions or additional thoughts in the comments.